The following is for entertainment purposes only. We are not financial advisors. We are not responsible for any losses, only the profits.
What is up, my Robin Hood bros? How y'all doing? Crazy day today, huh? We saw some total plays that were just out of nowhere. There's some penny stocks that kind of went crazy. A lot of risk going on, but some profit taken along the way. I've got this one here I've been working on. There's just so much going out that stuff gets pushed back, and I just can't even keep up. So I got to get this one knocked out. This one is called CleanSpark Info. No one is talking about the little brother effect. Okay. What we're talking about today is ticker PPSI, Pioneer Power Solutions Inc. There is only 8.7 million shares out there, which is nothing, which means this baby could fly and will fly when it wants to. Where has it been? Where is it at now? It used to be all the way up to like $9 a share. It's trickled right down to about, $1. And right now it's on a super steady, 20-30% incline that could easily parabolic us up. Why it's perfect time for me to make this video is because we've had some red coming off the green here, drew in these lines for us. And what that means is we have bounced right off the port here and we are headed back up north. So it's a perfect time to get in. You've probably got a 15-20% spread that you could probably hit. That's going to make its way to the next green. So we're going to keep jumping in here and taking a look at what is Pioneer Power Solutions. In a snapshot, it's a diversified manufacturer of highly customized electrical equipment. They focus on niche applications and services within large growing market segments for power equipment, utility, industrial, commercial. We've got a balanced mix of revenue streams from project-based custom engineered equipment to standard products sold to distributors, recurring annual service contracts. I like all that. Financials, 61.4 million market cap. This is a little outdated, so I'm guessing it's more now. 101.4 million in 2017 revenue, 99% in North America. So they're pretty much North America based and energy company. So the large and diverse end markets, they do everything for energy. They're kind of green focused though. They got high growth in wind, solar, biomass, battery charging, data centers, drive systems, medical equipment, power quality conditioning, prisons, casinos, nursing assisted living, telecom, cell towers. They can even go into cyclical growth in their office buildings, shopping centers, airports, hospitals, outdoor lighting, avionics, automobile, GDP growth, office, government, apartment buildings. So big stuff, small stuff, whatever you want to do. HVACs, pools, everything. But solar panels, they're trying to focus on that. Energy, even out in the sea for the oil rigger guys. Our business segments, they've got 100% transformers, T&D, 85%, and 15% critical power, 39% equipment, and 61% service. And that's part of their revenue. So they're selling people the machines and the setups, and then they're servicing them. So like, okay, now that you got it, we'll see you in a month and I'm gonna charge you even more for it. Okay, gotta come keep it up to date. So they make these big, huge, confusing battery electrical terminal spreader thingies, all these machines, all right, these generators, power dried transformers, utility transformers. Do these look kind of familiar to anyone, especially this one over here, generator cell service, huh? The low voltage stuff. Does any of it look familiar? We're making money on it all. So through power, you've got a power station, a power transformer, boom, that's where they come in. Then it goes to the lines, power substation, that's them too, then more lines, and then a distribution substation again, boom, that's them. So anywhere there is a transfer from one type of electricity to another, or bringing in more power lines or different power lines to other ones, you gotta have these guys sitting right in the middle, okay? So you gotta use their equipment. T&D segment, they've got the wind farms, medium and low voltage, dry type transformers, so they're all over the place. The hubs, the residential, commercial, awesome, okay? They've got the revenue from continued operations. They've got 25% utilities, 19% distribution, 56% commercial and industrial. You can see they've got contracts with tons of big players here, okay? Valero gas station, ATCO group, Target, Fuji, all sorts of big boys. Attractive portfolio, long-term relationship with dozens of blue chip customers, high customer retention. They're going to be showing growth throughout the years, of course, awarded new contracts with network transformers. So you could tell these guys, they're building out. They supply the stuff. They help with power management. You lining everything up yet? So how does all this come with CleanSpark CLSK fit into this Pioneer Power PPSI? So in January 2019, so like a year and a half ago, a microgrid company with advanced engineering software and controls for innovative distribution energy resource management systems and Pioneer Power Solutions, a company engaged in the manufacture, sale, and service of electrical transmission, distribution, and on-site power generation equipment, today announced that the two companies have closed a merger transaction wherein CleanSpark acquired Pioneer's wholly owned subsidiary, Pioneer Critical Power Inc. The entity acquired is not related to Pioneer's engine generator business headquartered in Minneapolis, operator under the same name. So it's kind of just a different play, but it's the same thing, just under a different name. Pioneer will continue to retain and operate that business under the PCPI name, and CleanSpark will change the name of the acquired entity to CleanSpark Critical Power Systems no later than end of February of last year. So why is this news for us? Because no one's talking about it. This is basically a company where they're getting their equipment and getting some service done and little parts and all that from these guys. So Einhorn is Finkle and Finkle is Einhorn. Through this acquisition, the company became the sole owner of strategic intelligent property currently held by them. CleanSpark plans to utilize its new intellectual property to enter into the switchgear equipment sales industry, which they are. You remember the video we did about them? That's where they're getting it from, is these guys. The company further acquired executive contracts, so they bought even contracts as a package, kind of like mortgage companies do, which it expects will result in approximately $3.6 million in gross sales during 2019. As a further condition of the agreement, CleanSpark and them entered into a non-competition, non-solicitation agreement wherein by Pioneer Power agreed, among other things, to not compete with the company or solicit employees or customers of the company for a period of 4 years. PPSI also signed an industry agreement to identify the company of certain contingencies. Concurrent with the acquisition, CleanSpark entered into a contract manufacturing agreement whereby Pioneer Power shall exclusively manufacture the parallel switch gears, automatic transfer switches, and related control and power protective equipment for CleanSpark for a period of no less than 18 months. So that's about kind of where we're at, about 18 months. This acquisition will allow CleanSpark to continue to build out intellectual property portfolio and secure substantial revenues. So basically, they're using them. This is the guys that are building all the stuff for CleanSpark. So this is great. Without the capital exposure generally required to operate a manufacturing facility, stated CleanSpark's president and CFO, Mr. Bradford. We'll own the rights to the customer base, so they even bought the customer base from them, and intellectual property, and a underwriter's laboratories file portfolio, and we expect to benefit from the associated existing and future revenues, but without the exposure of large capital investments in an inventory equipment facilities. Smart. Sub it out. As a result of the transaction, the prior agreement between CleanSpark and us to acquire Pioneer Custom Electrical Products has been terminated with the mutual agreement of both parties. As consideration for the assets, CleanSpark will provide Pioneer with the following: 1,750,000 shares of CleanSpark common stock, which I tried verifying, but I was not able to verify that. I'm sure they still have them, but I wasn't able to find it. I looked up institutions that are invested in CleanSpark, but they're not showing up under that. But then again, they're not an institution, so I don't know if they still have those shares or not. I believe that they do. I don't see why they wouldn't, but could they have taken half and already sold those or whatever? Sure. So if someone else knows that, let me know down in the comments, please. A 5-year warrant to purchase more shares, a 5-year warrant to purchase more shares at a little bit bigger of a rate. They got in when CleanSpark was low, around $1 or whatever. So we already know about CleanSpark, but so not only is this company possibly still have shares, but they're the ones who provide the equipment for them. So this is like a total supplement, like the little brother company for them. So if CleanSpark keeps going good, these guys are going to keep going good, and kind of vice versa. It will be interesting to see if they end up ever partnering with another company, but I doubt it, because CleanSpark's pretty aggressive, and I can see them wanting to have them sign another non-compete or whatnot. But regardless, that's good to know, because CleanSpark does tout a lot about how they have, equipment and things that no one else can get or use. There's more information here if you want to go to the description down below and click on the website. As always, I have this up on my website, so if you want to read more about them, go take a look. So what does everyone think about this? You think this is going to be a good one to dive into? I do. I think it's a perfect time to dive in. I already jumped in and got some. So what do y'all think? Let's dive into some news for today. So Blink, you heard of them? They're like the EV charge, one of the EV charging companies out there. They actually have physical stations where you can pull up and take the thing and gas your car up with electricity. Okay. So they tanked today on allegations such as cobwebs on their machines and pillaging minority investors and lying about actual numbers of charging stations installed. So someone came out and made this like dramatic video saying that Blink sucks, and they supposedly went out to I don't even remember, 200 or 300 actual Blink locations and took pictures of the machines and showed some of them were kind of broken looking, or some had cobwebs on them and stuff. They're like, see, they're not, these guys are fake, they suck. Some of the allegations are nuts. Even saying they have cobwebs, who cares? Not everyone has electric cars in the middle of nowhere. They're probably not going to get used in some gas loving places, right? The pillaging of minority investors. Come on, man. That they just threw that in there. How are you going to prove that? Blink did come out and basically say, they had an article they just put out about an hour ago. They said short sellers attack Blink, charging with false, manipulative, and defamatory reports. They basically came out and said, we've become aware of these false things that they said. We believe these quote-unquote reports were intended to manipulate our stock price downward in support of short sellers. Should we jump in? Blink charging categorically denies and allegations of the implications. Blink will defend itself vigorously against these false allegations, and is also reviewing all legal options at its disposal to hold the author and the sponsors of the reports responsible for baseless attack, which has, as of this press release, caused its stock to decrease. Shareholders are cautioned against reacting to the false statement being made, demonstrating a lack of understanding of the company and its multiple deployment models. We stand by the data provided, so that's huge. We're going to back it up, and described in our detailed public filing, and we urge all investors to review those filings. So, in this video that came out, they basically took their filing, and they're like, because on theirs it says 6,000 different stations around the United States, all working condition, doing great. And that video that came out, we're like, no, we only were able to prove there's only a third, basically 2,000 stations instead of 6,000. So I guess now of course Blink's going to try to come out and try to prove it. I'm sure they could. Unless they worded it incorrectly and those were just slated to be installed, or were those actually installed 6,000? I don't know. To me, if this is all they have to complain about, that they might not. It's not good to make people assume you have 6,000 if you actually have 2. That's not good, all right? But to me, this kind of seems like a kind of who cares thing. Okay. The stock actually went down. If they only do have 2,000, they were totally lying. I don't know that they were. Because like I said, they said they stand by the data provided and described in detail in the public offering. So I don't think it's something they lied about, but again, I'd look for maybe in the SEC filings they worded it a tiny bit different. That one word can make a big difference, but I'm sure they're going to end up okay with this. Could more drama come out with it? Maybe. I'm sure people will start taking pictures and be like, screw Blink, screw them, put it on Twitter or whatever. Hashtag screw Blink or whatever. Whatever, man. I don't think it's too big of a deal. The ticker, what happened? So we were up to $14.50. It started channeling down a little bit, kind of coming up with a bull flag ish pattern. But then this kind of came out and it just tanked down to like 650. So it got cut like in half, which is not good. It did end up smacking right back up to the, we got a line here basically that will probably go across and it's holding. And last time I was checked, it was just kind of riding, consolidating here. So if you were to get back in this, I would put a buy above this line here, which would probably be $8.65. So you might want to be, $8.80 or something to catch it. Or if you're super long this company and, whatever, just get it now if you want. I mean, but again, just remember, it could still go back down if people dramatize a little bit more. It'd probably end up down to maybe 5 bottom, maybe down to 6, but I don't know. It's not good if the numbers are false, but they're saying that we'll stand by them with the data and all that. So we'll see if and how they can prove it. I'm sure they wanted to, they could upload 5,000 different pictures of them, whatever, but I don't know. Next, let's take a look at about some stock market plays. So West Water Resources, I'm actually working on a video on this one, but I just want to tell you about it now. They're a green USA based mining company, and they're going to be one of the only ones that have, I believe, graphite mining in the United States. So as you know, if you've seen a bunch of my other videos, as for mining like weird metals and stuff, China usually owns all that stuff. They own it everywhere. In the United States, Canada, when any rare earth metals come out, China usually swoops in and buys that whole company and owns it. Any precious metal that comes out of China, well, usually it never leaves China. First of all, they hoard their gold and silver, but, it has their stamp on it, right? So they're smart with that. So this is kind of a cool play. The graphene and stuff is going to be started used for some pretty complicated battery systems for like electronic vehicles, because you can use graphene as certain screeners for lithium-ish solid-state batteries. It's just more efficiency for batteries in electronic vehicles, solar panels, stuff like that. So this is kind of a cool play if you want to take a look at them. Westwater Resource Inc. The ticker is WWR. And I think it's a good time to buy on this too. That's why I just want to let you know now, because it hit this channel, right around $2.15. I mean, it's smacked it how many times? 17 times here. Did it all the way back here. And it just smacked it again and it started going up. Today, there was some hype coming out because they released a statement saying something about their graphene, how they're going to start resourcing and turning battery and stuff. They made a big announcement about it. So it actually had a hype moment where it went to like $3.50 today and then just smacked right back down. I mean, just instantly, so you could have killed it right there. I mean, you could have made, 30% on your money in an hour, or an hour or two. But regardless, I think this is one of those ones that's going to kind of keep following that and riding up a little bit, so take a look at that one. If y'all heard of that, got any more info, let me know. Next one, a good deal right now. Remember Fuse Acquisition Corp? We did a video on that like a month ago. Well, that was when the units were out, but the commons and the warrants came out on, I think, Monday. And the warrants came out and they popped like 97 cents. But now, dude, they're already down to like 55 cents, 59 cents, 60 cents, somewhere around there. So, it's ultra low volume, but this is I don't know if you remember, but the guy who's running this, he's the dude who brought SPY, the S&P 500, to the market. Yeah, you heard me right. He's the one who brought SPY to the market. You think that this guy's not going to come out with something cool? And he's targeting fintech, okay? My hopeful play at first was hoping he was going to come out with another ETF. Like I was hoping like a crypto ETF or something crazy, who knows? But he did come out in another interview I've talked about where he said it is not going to be an ETF. So who knows? Maybe you could grab like Webull or someone and bring them to market. They're big on like trading platforms too. So Webull or who knows, Sophie or whatever, who knows. So hopefully this one ends up being cool. If you want to get in, super cheap and early, even the commons are way below floor. They're like $9.95 or something, and the units are like 10.20 or something crazy low. So I mean, you can get those below floor if you want to go risky. The warrants, like I said, 50-ish cents, 60 cents. Take it. So Soak, talked about them for months. This is the quote-unquote green SPAC. Someone brought up a good comment about them, is that They're one of the only green SPACs that came out the gate and said, we are the green SPAC. In fact, their website address, I believe, is thegreenspac.com. Why this is cool? Because all these other guys are like pivoting. You know, all these energy guys that were like oil, like SPAQ and SBE, you know, those tickers, those SPACs, they switched like halfway through. So these guys could come out to some green play, a battery play, or whatever it may be, Terra, you know, charging or whatever, and they could say, look, we actually do care about the environment. We actually do want to make it better. You know, we came out green. So, anyways, how do we make money? Well, this thing has been, you know, it's been a roller coaster, and I've been calling this out as a day trade for a long time here. You can see this, you know, this huge wave at first. You know, bought up, I sold out here, came back down, and then it's been just day trading. You know, it's been going from like 75 cents, 80 cents on up to like a buck-ish, you know, 98 cents over and over again. In fact, it's been going above that. I've seen it like a $1.05, $1.10 over and over again. And right now, I'll bring it up again because it's getting stupid low again. It's like 80 cents. So I bought back in because it's not going to go back up. I mean, this is still a relatively new SPAC, but they did say in their filing that they're hoping to announce before the year, if not early next year. So these guys, to me, sound like they have at least one pretty much in the bag, you know, if not a handful they're getting serious about. UAVS, HE Eagle Aerial Systems. I've been working on a video for a long time on this, but other stuff keeps coming out. Regardless, this is the company that makes the drones that can actually like 3D map areas. Like, so for farmers, they can shoot up in the air and it'll 3D map your whole farm and tell you all sorts of info. A lot of logistic internet companies are starting to use them, and they've come out and said a very large internet retailer we are partnered with now, and we are giving them drones to help move their stuff around their place or something like that. And the big speculation is that that big retailer is Amazon. So that still hasn't officially come out, but if and when that does, this thing will go absolutely parabolic, and I want to be in for that ride. It's worth the gamble. Not only that, they did pair with a big online retailer, even if it's Target or something, or Walmart, great, you know, any of those will make this pop, you know. So regardless, this is still, I think, a solid company. I still think even without that, it still has room to go. Why am I bringing this up again now? Because it's a good time to buy it, all right? We slapped down, we hit this should be a line about right here because we had a gap, and guess what? It smacked it twice, boom, boom, which confirmed it. Now we got a green candle up. What it was smacking was about $2.18, and it smacked back up to $2.31 last time I saw it. You know, I already bought this one a couple months ago, and it sold it through this consolidation channel through here. But I am now back in, and I think it's a good time to get in. You know, it's been up to about 380, and again up down to 230. So it's a 40%, 30% run there. It's pretty big. Let's take a look at that. Anyone have any more info on that? Put it down in the comments. Let me know. How about silver? It's exactly what we're saying, okay? You know, it surfed the channel down, just like, look at almost an exact mirror of what it did like 2-3 weeks ago. Almost an exact mirror. And guess what? Hit this. This technically should, you know, I'm hoping tonight this goes smack back up. If it does, it should hit us close to, you know, 28.75. That's what the hope is. I think this was about a day here when this did the same parabolic move once it broke channel. So be watching that. Next, let's take a look at TLT. These are the 20-year Treasury bonds. This is where the Fed had the auction, sold off, everyone went with it, it gapped down, huge. So for TLT, you know, I'm trying to wait until it gets above this channel here at 165. It keeps tagging this in here, and until it breaks that, I need to wait. And what I actually want to do is buy some calls on this or just buy it. I mean, I still think I know long that this is it's going to end up mooning. Absolutely. You don't believe me? Look at the charts back in March and look at them before that, and you'll see what I'm talking about, what happens when the SPY goes down, see what this does, then you'll understand. But, you know, regardless, I do need to get in this. I just want to wait until it at least breaks above. I'll say like 166, 166.5 is honestly where I'm going to wait. Because past that, there's really nothing holding it back. I mean, you could draw, there's just really, I don't even see anything, you know, because right now you can see this line all the way back here, back, what was this? Oh, I want to say about a month ago or something, we were still sitting, and that's where it's riding. So it's trying to break this trend here. And if and when we do that, then it's up. I mean, there was still this gap, so it could have a little trouble through that gap, but I don't really see it because that was, that was a big event. That was the Fed selling at auction, which is a massive event, kind of like what we were just talking about with the blink or the charging stuff. So, if there's a massive event, something major that happens, you can't really call that something that's going to happen with the algorithm. That's just people just dumping everything they got. So just keep that in mind. If there's any other plays y'all want me to take a look at, or you want to take a look at these shirts, we got them down in the description. Appreciate all the support. Be sure to leave any comments or thumbs up. Those really help out the channel. It thanks a lot, everyone. And before I forget, please hook us up on Twitter. All right, add us on Twitter as friends. I've been updating it daily, pretty consistently, with some plays I'm running out of, and info throughout the day that can help you out, because these videos take a while, and by the time I get to them, a lot of times it's already old news. So just follow us on Twitter. We're also on Stock Twits too. You can add us on there. I'm not really as consistent as the Twitter, but I appreciate it, everyone. Have a good night. See ya.